All right, so welcome to another Yoon's talk. These talks are just, random stuff that I think about. And recently somebody asked me the question, hey, with what you know now, if you could go back in time, would you join the military all over again? And so pretend with me, right? I went back in time and I saw my former self. My former self came up to me and asked, hey, you've been in the military for a while now, a year now, a bit over a year. Would you join the military? Is it a good idea? And the answer I would say to myself is the same thing I would say to you, which is yes, it was definitely a good decision for me. Okay. And the reason for that is, as much as I read books, right? I read a good amount of books and I read a lot of different lessons and tips from different people. There are some things that you just have to experience that you can't learn from reading books. I've read so many books on, hey, work long hours, right? And I thought, oh yeah, I'll work long hours, right? I had a full-time job when I was a civilian. I worked 8 hours. At the same time, I was going to school. So I spent about 3-4 hours on school and studying, and I thought, all right, 12 hours a day, that's a pretty good amount of, work time, right? And when I joined the military, there was a period of my life where I don't do it anymore. I used to work bare minimum 50 hours, and every other week I worked 70 and a little bit more than 70 hours each and every single day. And that's not, and 16 hours a day, not 70 hours a day, 16 hours a day, 70 hours a week. And during those days where I worked 16-hour days, multiple days in a row, I would only get 4 or 5 hours of sleep, right? Because I'd come home, shower, go to the gym. Because if you don't go to the gym, you're not going to be fit. And if you're not going to be fit, when it comes twice a year to take fitness tests, you're going to fail and you're going to get kicked out if you fail twice, right? You don't want that to happen. At the same time, I make YouTube videos for you. So I would only get 4 or 5 hours of sleep each and every single day. And I realized as I was working those 16-hour days, man, I was only operating at half my potential when I was a civilian. And this is the lesson that I learned by experiencing it. As much as I read through books of working long hours, I learned through physically going through it. There are different physical lessons that you have to go through, the unique lessons that military life teaches you. And I believe realizing your potential is one of that. Okay, personally, in my opinion. And the second thing is, it strengthened my bond with my family. Definitely, when I was a civilian, I didn't really have good relationship with my parents, with my brother, with my grandmother. We didn't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. And when I was a civilian, I had a business and I thought it was going to do great, but it failed. And, while my business started, back when this thing started, my parents were like, hey, focus on school. And I said, no. And I was like, man, you guys are stupid. I'm going to be better off doing this business. I should have listened to them. And as my business failed, kind of the fear that my parents had, that I had for myself, kind of came to reality. And I was slowly starting to feel like I was a failure, right? And so I joined the military, and now, I can see my parents are proud of me, of what I'm doing, what I'm accomplishing along the way. And I'm starting to feel happy and satisfied, and I feel like I'm getting where I need to be. And that definitely strengthened my bond with my family, not just success-wise, but communication also. I call my grandmother every single day at 6 o'clock, and I've done that for about 3 years now. And I call my mother every day now. Because I'm in the military, I don't see her every day face to face. I call her every day at 9:30 p.m. And we have open communication. We text each other. Like we haven't done that. We were not always like that, and we were now open communication with each other. So in that aspect also, it has been worth it for me to be away from my family, so it strengthened the bond. Okay, if that makes sense, right? And lastly, for me, family is a big part of my life. Some people would love to be away from their family, living in a completely different area. But for me, family is a big part. Okay, and every single day for me to be away from my family gives my ultimate goal is to be with my family, to live a lifestyle where I can always be with my family and be happy and successful and all that kind of stuff. So being in the military away from my family gives me the motivation every single day, fuels my why factor into doing the things that I need to do each and every single day to make progress towards my goal, make progress towards my ultimate dream. One of the things is being on social media, right? I make a video almost every single day, helping people, helping you through whatever you need to be helped with. And being in the military definitely has given me a huge strength and huge boost on my why factor. So those three things, and there's many other different reasons, but those are the three main things that I wanted to share with you. For those of you who are interested, not a lot of you are interested. So I hoped this helped some of you. If it did, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to know. And thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great Navy day.